inching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Fielded right around the 8. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Richardson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away.
That's taken on the 25.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards.
And the Patriots take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time.
They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw 1 touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
Now Jones. Over the middle, complete. That's Cohen.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Holding, offense.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Throwing, Jones.
This pass out wide to Hall. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
The Patriots now at 2-5 to start play. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here, and it kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw here taken in by Isabella. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in clutch territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. To throw on 2nd and 6. Jones. That is caught by Cohen.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
On 1st and 10, Jones. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. Andy Isabella. His first touchdown on the year. And the Patriots will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away. Takes it at the 7. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
Well, it certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but belly bags. It's right to the headlines now. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Taken in at the 22. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W. But it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Jones. And he completes it to Cohen. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Charles, Thursday night game. I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jones. It's brought in by Harris.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
They'll look to throw again.
Finding Harris on back-to-back plays.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on third down.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Throw finding Thornton over the middle. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
To throw again on second down. Jones. That ball complete to Isabella.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Damian Harris. His third rushing touchdown of the year. And the Patriots lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. You talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on the defensive side of the ball.
Extra point up and good by Garibay.
And it's now 14-0.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
And now out comes Houston.
Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Looking to throw. Richardson.
He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Now Richardson on first down. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Richardson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Pierce will try to pick it up.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Now you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Looking to throw. Richardson.
He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, here's Pierce. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Now an option play on 2nd down.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think his big boys up front, that offensive line, they've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Here's Richardson on 3rd down. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A bad time for a roughing penalty. And they get the gift of a 1st and
10. Running it out of the gun with Pierce.
He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
2nd down and 3, ball on the 7.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Richardson caught on a slant. Touchdown, Texans. Blake Jarwin, a 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans are back within a score.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. So that one a 13-play drive in total.
And it was Blake Jarwin, the tight end, who had the touchdown catch to cap it.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Patriots to take over. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak on top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Going to run the toss here to Harris. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Texans scoop it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble.
And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
25 yards there on the catch and run. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact, and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
Pierce now up the middle.
And here he'll get it down to the 7.
2nd and 6 with the ball on the 7. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Now he steps away. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. Fine work by the Patriot D there, and it's 4th down.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with completion there. Now drive the starter field position is facing 4th down.
And this one is right through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
This one taken just inside the 10. And able to get this out to the 25. Offense returns to the field. There's the running back, the bruiser from Alabama, Damian Harris.
A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12.
Operating from the gun, Jones. And he's got his target, Harris. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Jones now throwing on 1st down. Harris has it over the middle. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw again. He's got the hook up to Moore. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 35. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 35-yard line. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots.
Tyquan Thornton
His 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Garibay.
And that makes it a 21-10 game.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
Houston set to take over.
They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. He gets it to Cooks. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Pierce takes it straight ahead.
They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. It's a gain of a yard, and the Texans are going to have a 1st. Looking to throw. Richardson. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
A run for Pierce out of the gun. And space tough to come by there, so we'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
To throw is Richardson. To throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. On 4th down, that is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The offense and QB Mac Jones running back out.
5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
Two minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. Now Jones on 1st and 10. Again, he finds more.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones.
He gets it underneath to Hall.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half.
Jones throwing complete for Harris. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Jones. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And the Texans will take over here at their own 12-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Richardson now throwing to start the drive. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd down and 3. Back to throw. Richardson. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe for the run. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Set to punt, here's Cameron Johnston. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10.
The Pats going to get one final possession in this first half.
And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try to put points on the board.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones complete on the quick throw to Moore. And he's going to have the 1st down as they move into field goal range here at the 25-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This from 42 yards out.
Garabay's kick is good.
And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. The drive will start with an option going left. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. All that remains is to snap this once, and that will do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. Good games all over the screen there, one being at MetLife Stadium. A big one for the Jets as they get set to host the Philadelphia Eagles. The 4 o'clock games have some intrigue as well, especially up in Buffalo, where it'll be the Bills taking on the New York Giants. And lastly, Monday Night Football has a good one lined up between the Cleveland Browns and the Tennessee Titans. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Texans in that first half. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. But the Patriots taking over to start quarter number 3. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. That's complete yet again to Thornton. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Now Jones. This one caught by Isabella. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Throwing Jones. Complete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
Richardson on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. 1st down, they go right back to Pierce. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun, Richardson. That's complete. It's Collins. The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Richardson. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4. Rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. when to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Jones setting up the screen. Harris. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he's got some space here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
60 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Facing short yardage on 3rd down, he was able to pick up a very sizable gain.
He certainly was, and I think that maybe they were fooled a little bit because you and I both know this is a passing league, and that's not normally a running down, and they fooled him with it. Safety had to make the play. Otherwise, he's still running, and the next thing, he runs right into the goalpost.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 37-yard line.
Jones throw there taken in by Smith.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
An option handoff given to Harris. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
On the draw, it's Hall.
Oh, look at the juke. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Jones.
And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Jones toward the sideline, and he will have the 1st down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score.
Matt Jones
with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year.
And the Patriots have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point up and good by Garibay.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And Pierce gets it again on second down.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2.
Going for it with Pierce.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They go again with Pierce. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Off play action. Richardson. They'll roll him out right. And he wisely will throw that one away. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Richardson.
Throw right side, taken in by Collins.
And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
They might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he shorted the line to gain. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on downs. Jones throwing to start the drive.
Got his man, it's Thornton.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Back to throw. Jones. It's brought in by Harris. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Stevenson.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough.
2 yards left on 2nd down from the 9.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
That's swung out wide to Harris.
Touchdown! Damian Harris. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Patriots look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
The extra point up and good by Garibay.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away. And now out comes Houston. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this fourth quarter. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Richardson. This will be complete to Mechie. That one a first down pickup of 8. Operating from the gun. Richardson. And his throw is incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Richardson. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man is Mechie, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Got a man. It's Collins complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Back to throw. Richardson. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. Wisely will throw that one away. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Collins. Now Richardson throwing on 1st down. Another one caught by Collins. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Back to throw again. To Pierce, they set up the screen. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Again, he'll drop to throw. Nothing open downfield, so they'll throw away.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down.
Defense.
A 4th down pass interference call.
And everyone works hard on 3rd down. That's usually the money down. Get off the field. It intensifies when it's a fourth down. You think you've got it done. You think you've completed the play. Instead, you see a flag, pass interference, gives them a new set of downs.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Paris Campbell, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Pulls it in at the 13. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Running back Damian Harris, and the Patriots ready to go on their next drive here. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. And he stopped immediately there. The offense on third down tonight, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 75 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. They hand this off to Harris. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On the give, this is Harris. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Desmond King making the tackle. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. 5 yards on the play there. It's a drive will continue.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They run again with Harris. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating, even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned down, and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground. But both really started to come in sync. So for the Patriots, they get a much-needed victory to get to 3-5 on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Miami next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens.